Do you think you can beat me and other veterans in a free-for-all? Well, don't worry about not having competition, because now you do. There will be a Halo free-for-all here at Piedmont College. You can come to the Swanson Center screening room on February 22nd at 8 p.m. to test your skills. I will even give you 2 whole hours to see if you have what it takes to win the prize, a nice $50 bill. That'll be a good bonus for your speakeasy, eh? For more information, visit facebook.com/gamerlore.
He started racing because of his brother Dodie. Dodie was racing and Bill liked going to the racetrack with him, so he started racing, and his first race was a figure-8 race in Canton at the Canton Motor Speedway, and he was only 13 years old, and he had to put a pillow under him where he could just sit up enough to see to race. But that's how he got started racing his brother Dodie.
Me and him, back when I started racing, we got to racing together. We ran 2 races at Dixon.
Why are you so annoying? Always forget where I leave those. Let's see if anyone's online. Dang it, nobody's online.
Bud Lunsford, Charlie Minson, Leon Sales, Leon Archer. That's the cream of the crop right there, you know. Lots more that could win, but you had to beat them every week. If you started on Thursday night racing, a lot of nights we run Thursday, Friday.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Data Dose. I'm your host, Tucker Dixon, and we will be discussing gaming news and information for the next 10 minutes, while of course watching some good gameplay. So let's get it started. THQ was one of the top 4 game companies in the United States until January 22nd of this year. It was then that the company went belly up and its studios and properties were auctioned off to the highest bidder. In case you weren't aware, some of THQ's biggest games were Saints Row,
Well, in the late 60s, early 70s, I was involved, I was still working full-time running a fabricating plant, and I was building motors on the side. I bought a machine shop out, the automotive machine shop, started doing engines on the side. Basically, I was winning at everything. My engines were winning at everything. I was involved in boat racing.
And the first time they brought Ginger the bear to the racetrack, whenever evidently she had passed for some reason, and whenever they got her to the racetrack, I kept telling Bill that she was too scared to wrestle him. And then the school bus jump, no one had ever done that before without practicing first, and that was his first time ever doing that.
He had a love for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Allison made the comment earlier that his head was ahead of his feet because he was always thinking before he was moving. And although he was a go-getter like that, he was just really, if you wanted to talk to him about something or you went by to see him, he stopped whatever he was doing, even though he had 1,000 things to do, and he would talk to you and be patient, especially with the grandkids. And that's my memory of him.
I've been here all day. How do you not know?
Now, you know I have to ask this. How did it go with your team?
It went great. We've been really improving lately.
Oh, that's great, dear.
Yeah, and one of the best teams isn't going to be at nationals this year. So if we get there, we just might.
Jim, why did you interrupt him?
Because it needs to stop talking about these stupid video games.
They're not games. There's a whole community built up around them.
You can say what you want. They're still just stupid video games.
But it's not.
The games are useless. And when you play them as much as you do, you're useless too.
Jim.
I'm out of here.
Can I just go to my room?
Now, honey, you know he loves you, even when you're playing video games.
Maybe.
The prized jewel of THQ is Volition Inc. They are the creators of the legendary Saints Row franchise. Volition Inc. was picked up for $22 million by German media group Koch Media. With this purchase, Koch Media also received the publishing rights for Metro Last Light, which is supposed to come out later this year. For these studios that have been purchased, not all will change from the norm. There will be some leadership and strategy changes for the studios, and some ration layoffs. Yeah, it kinda stinks, but hey, it's better than closing the studio down completely.
Despite facing an economy that's been on the rise since the recovery began in 2009, more and more college graduates are facing uncertain futures. After walking across the stage and getting their diplomas, more and more grads are packing their things and heading home, right back to their parents' houses. According to a study by consulting firm 20-something Incorporated, 85% of 2011 graduates planned on moving home. For college senior Tara Keyholtz, home is her best option financially.
Mainly I'm moving back home because I'm really in debt with all my student loans. I have about $20,000 in debt with my student loans, so I don't really have any other option but to go back home.
According to Mark Kanchowitz, the publisher of FindAid.org and FastWeb.com, 2011 graduates had an average of over $27,000 in student loan debt. That, compounded with high debt and lack of jobs, is sending students home.
Yeah, the job market's definitely impacting my choice to go back home. I don't really have a job lined up now right after I graduate, so I think it would be different if the job market was a little better. Maybe I could have something lined up.
I think it probably is a balance. They're living at home, so they're not paying rent. They don't have an apartment, they're not paying rent. But what are they doing with that money that they would be using to pay for rent?
Moving home with mom and dad may not be a permanent solution, but it is a temporary fix Keyholtz is seeking.
I'm hoping 6 months at the max, but if I have to, I'll stay longer.
Business professor John Meisner says the best thing a student can do is have a budget.
What I think is very important to do that many undergraduates don't do is sit down and put together a budget and get some help on the financial side of things and analyzing the situation.
College graduates have hope as unemployment is decreasing. Unemployment for October was 9%, down from 9.7% in 2010 and 10.1% in 2009. In fact, government studies show that those with a bachelor's degree or higher, unemployment levels are only at 4.4%.
I would think the vast majority of that 85% that are supposedly moving back home don't want to, but somehow feel that they must or that there's a need.
People being inducted feel the same way, that they didn't start out racing wanting to be inducted into anything. They just wanted to race. And, it's just kind of like icing on a cake, so to speak, that at least people have recognized you for the effort you put in.